Now, of course, you have some amazing partnerships. I saw that you guys are partnered up with IBM. Could you maybe tell us more about them and also just whatever other partners that you have?
Of course. So in terms of our partnerships, in terms of some of the corporations that we have, as I said earlier, we from the very beginning we knew that we want to build a purpose-oriented AI assistance connected to blockchain. So it was our intention, it was our product development strategy for the very beginning that we don't want to rebuild technologies that are all already built by the biggest players, the top companies, top tech companies in the world. It would be just irrational to to attempt to basically build our own versions of those technologies which already were built by the giants. So the idea and the strategy behind product development from the very beginning was that the pieces of software or the pieces of technology that are already existing in the market and are already built by the giants will just reuse those elements and add very specific AI functionalities, ML algorithms, etc., for the purposes that we're going to cover, or the use cases that we're going to cover with our AI assistants. Hence, going towards IBM topic, one of the first things that we did is we established a partnership with IBM in order to build the first version of our AI assistant in cooperation with their developers. And that's what we did. We started with combining two development teams, one from IBM and our own development team. We had them work for a couple of months together to deliver the first version of the AI assistant related to business line 1. And obviously, this allowed us a lot in terms of grasping the AI assistant technology, getting competences transferred to our own development team, etc., etc. And we obviously did not stop there. We also, as part of this relationship or cooperation with IBM, we also agreed that we're gonna also our sales or business development teams will work together basically to implement the technology to existing IBM clients, meaning that the solution that we built together was unique to that sense that it also had given some additional value or sales opportunities for IBM itself, at least in the European region. So that's mainly IBM topic and IBM cooperation. I also mentioned Grant Thornton, which is a big one for us as well. We are very proud about the fact that we're partnered with Grant Thornton. Grant Thornton is mainly supporting us from a business consulting perspective and compliance, regulatory compliance. From the very beginning, they were supporting us in many different topics, from accounting to business development, through business plan creation, etc., etc. This also includes some communication strategy drafting for various events that we had in the past, etc., etc. But mainly, they are our compliance partners and regulatory partners. They are called in Malta. This institution is called VFA Agent, so Virtual Financial Assets Agent. They're basically making sure that, first of all, we do everything in compliance with the local regulation, that we follow all the requirements, that we comply with all the requirements. Their role is basically to protect us, making sure that we are compliant, but B, also protect token holders, because this is the role that they are given by the local Maltese Financial Services Authority to protect holders of the project that is regulated, by making sure that supervising basically the project and making sure that the project is doing everything in compliance with the regulation, which was of course created and drafted specifically to protect token holders from any projects or any founders that could attempt to scam them or make some business activity that would basically drive losses for those holders. And not to make it very long, because we obviously have a long list of partnerships, and obviously you can see them all on the VAIOT AI website. But one particular partnership that we're also proud of, and that's given us a lot, especially in tokenomics area, especially in token related matters, is DAO Maker, obviously, which we had our regulated token sale done on the DAO Makers fundraising platform, and then on their launch pool, and this also has given us a lot of in terms of tokenomics creation, making sure that everything works from the token perspective.
Yes, indeed. You mentioned that your project is regulated under the Maltese Virtual Financial Assets Act. I was wondering, maybe you can let us know what this means for regulation for the rest of Europe and also the world.
Right. So as I always explain that Malta was it was part of Maltese strategy, basically, to lure and to encourage startups, blockchain startups especially, to start business in Malta, to enhance basically the image of the island being a tech island or blockchain island. This is how they call themselves. So they were trying to outrun the European Union as an international organization to create a comprehensive regulatory framework for regulation of crypto assets, basically, and everything which is related to token sales, etc., etc. And they did that, actually. So the good thing about VFA regulation is that it was from the very beginning, it was based and created in parallel to the already existing work on EU-wide regulations, which we know is called MiCA, and it's in works. But basically, Maltese regulators were involved as one of the EU countries from the very beginning in any works and working groups working on the regulatory topics in the EU. So basically, the VFA regulation is not only based on those works, but it's also now is providing lessons learned to the current regulatory work at MiCA. So long story short, if there's going to be, and we know that there's going to be a EU-wide regulation, it will be very much aligned with what Maltese regulators have implemented in the VFA or as part of the VFA Act. Those regulations, especially on the EU level, as you know, EU is governed by directives from the EU European Commission. It's basically gives VAIOT this advantage, as you know, this EU-wide regulation will basically be very much aligned with the VFA regulation. Hence, VAIOT will have a head start. Will be able to basically make maybe some small amendments or some small updates will be necessary based on MiCA being implemented, but VAIOT will be more or less ready and to be regulated on the EU level from day one. Right. This is what we expect, and also if we're looking at the global regulations, most of them are looking at the same rules, same golden standards, same best practices in regards to KYC, in regards to AML, in regards to general compliance, in regards to information security, for example. So basically, the fact that VFA regulation is created having those global standards in mind, it also gives us head start to be regulated in any given country or in any given regulation globally.
Yes, it seems that you're very proactive with the safeties of your users in mind. That's great to hear. Be really interesting to see. Now, I wanted to ask for VAIOT itself, are there anything in development and what does the future look like? Are there any product launches that are coming up that you can share with us?
Yes, we have published at the end of 2022, I think it was sort of 31st or 30th of December, we have published basically an article showing the full roadmap for 2023. And we called it the most important, 2023, the most important year for VAIOT, just because we have lots of development coming to fruition this year and being launched as products. So some of the exciting things that we have planned for this year as part of 2023 agenda is basically a lot of product development and product launches. We have right now, this week we'll start beta testing for one of the intelligent contracts functionalities, which is called giveaway contracts. This will be available for our users to beta test this week with some incentive program as well to encourage basically more testers, more people to check out our technology and notify us of any potential bugs or any development ideas that they might have. This is how we like to develop our products, to have this interaction with our community, to have people from our community test our software. There are often a lot of suggestions on how certain things can be done better, more user-friendly, etc., etc. And we're always very happy to hear those suggestions and to implement them. Then we obviously have the AI contract/legal assistant launch this year. It's planned for June, so mid this year, to have the first working version of the AI contract assistant. Basically, this will cover the service contracts. So whenever there are two parties that want to strike a deal or negotiate a deal for a provision of a certain service or group of services, they can use our AI assistant to do that. They can get this deal negotiated through our AI assistant interface, and then this deal will be covered by a contract generated by our backend, and this will be a traditional contract that you can download, that you can sign in writing. But also it will allow users or enable users, if they want, to generate the equivalent of this agreement on the blockchain to have this additional undeniability factor there. We obviously have the mainnet launch. We've been talking about it so much that I often tend to forget that we're going to be launching a mainnet network soon. And outside of that, we obviously re-engaged with our strategy to increase the number of markets on which VAIOT token is available. So this year we also have in the agenda, outside of product dev, we also have a lot of listings planned on many different exchanges. But this is also a part of our strategy to make VAI more accessible, especially important when we are getting into the product launches, and users will be able to start feeling those benefits from holding VAI tokens as part of and use them as part of our solutions that we produce. And obviously, in terms of product launches, we're not going to start with the AI contract assistant being launched mid this year. There will be further iterations and further use cases to this solution, which we plan to implement this year. Basically, the plan is to have shorter development cycles, work in iterations, or deliver products in iterations. Every quarter should see another version of the AI contract assistant, another use case of intelligent contracts. being delivered to the market. As I said, we're going to start with simple service contracts, but we're going to extend to another use case in Q3, and then another use case in Q4. So basically, we want to start covering more and more of those different use cases for the intelligent contracts this year. And obviously, this will continue in the next year as well, meaning that we really want to get a lot of different deals, a lot of different contract types covered as we go forward. Ideally, as I said, the strategy is to have each new use case added every quarter. But of course, it depends on the complexity of a given use case that we're going to tackle. But that's the current plan, and that's the current strategy. And obviously, I mean, we have a lot of partnerships coming in this year, mostly related to two topics. First one being product development itself for specific use cases of the intelligent contracts, for specific use cases and iteration of the AI contract assistant. We are working with different partners to make sure that each specific use case has its very natural partner that's delivering the more this particular level and source of knowledge, and obviously the other area that we're going to introduce some partners and we're going to have some partnerships is the regulatory area. Basically, we see this topic and this area being very important this year. We finally got to the moment in which regulations are on people's mind when it comes to crypto. So we are very happy and very excited as a project which is regulated since 2020 to lead a little bit the pack in terms of how different projects can be regulated or can prepare for the regulation and setting some golden standards, etc., etc. And we're gonna work with some bigger partners from different areas of the crypto space to help other projects to implement different regulatory requirements and standards. And in addition to that, of course, we have some commercial discussions going. And we hope that those commercial discussions will come into fruition, and we will be able to announce some deals, commercial deals for the implementation of our solutions this year as well. That, I think, sums it up.
Wow, that is very exciting. You said that there's going to be a new use case every quarter. That's just going to be incredible. I'm really excited to see how your assistant will develop. I'm sure it will just get smarter and smarter. All right, so we do have one more question prepared, and I do see some of you in the audience with your hands up. So I will select a few of you and invite you on to join so that you can ask your question. Now, please, I do ask for you to avoid chilling, keep it concise and precise, and so we can have a few more questions for our guests today. All right, and now with that being said, our last question that we have here for you is, what does the name VAIOT, where does it come from? What is the inspiration behind it? I was hoping you can share more with us.
Right. So basically, from the very beginning, when we've been thinking about this project, we always saw potential in AI and blockchain separately. We knew that there were problems with blockchain adoption, some issues related to having to possess the necessary set of skills in order to utilize certain blockchain utilities, etc., etc. We knew that AI is a tool for automation and for streamlining some of the basically various processes. We saw that in the last couple of years in different areas. AI being used for various business processes, and we felt that AI can basically help with blockchain adoption, and it can open up this technology for regular users, for regular people. It can be this friendly user interface between people and blockchain, and hence the integration of both technologies in our minds, allowed to derive benefits from both of their potentials. And we also considered smart contracts as a tool and functionality that can offer a lot to the regular user. It was just natural to consider that we as a humanity, we make deals, we make transactions, we agree on certain topics, we sign certain agreements, we look for certain agreements online, and this technology just seemed natural to be utilized for those purposes. And from all this discussion, we thought that the AA assistant, AA legal assistant or contract assistant would be a universal tool, allowing people to strike secure and undeniable agreements, deals, or contracts between each other, and maybe even monitor and control the execution of such deals, such contracts, maybe to disallow any potential scams between the parties as part of those contracts. So basically, this is what inspired us as users, as people who also were negotiating deals, were striking agreements, who hired law firms to help them create proper agreements to cover certain topics, from the easiest ones to the more advanced ones. We thought that having AI assistant with the transparency and the undeniability of blockchain in the background would allow us, as regular users, to basically have those secure and well-built agreements to cover our transactions, to cover our deals. And we know that AI is basically working on huge amounts, huge sets of data, and in that case, huge sets of contractual data, which basically allows to utilize the combined knowledge of many lawyers, law firms, etc., in opposition to us just going to a regular local law firm. So yeah, I mean that's basically what inspired us to create VAIOT as a project and to combine AI and blockchain.
Wow, very, very exciting indeed. Now, my understanding is you guys have an AI art contest, a community contest. I was hoping maybe you can share with us more details about that.
Right. Yes. So basically, not to dive very much into the details of that, you can just simply go to our Telegram channel, or you can take a look at our Twitter, where there's a overview of this contest. We're basically looking for the best AI generated contest that would image that would cover what VAIOT is, so that would relate to VAIOT. And obviously, there are some rewards, some exciting rewards for the best images planned. So yeah, I encourage you to check out our Twitter, check out our Telegram. There's everything about this program there.
Okay, that's great. So definitely go and check that out.